Okay, we're actually live, coming to you on a Thursday afternoon. Um, I have started a poll to see if you agree or disagree that United can beat West Ham tonight in the Premier League match. I Lots of headlines this week around Mateus Cunha and Lenny Yoro. And while Amarim has taken the time to respond to these, he must also be quietly pleased as his tactical plans seem to be finally falling into place. Although the game against Everton was a hard one, basically at the end of the day, I felt we didn't react tactically, and that was down to what was happening on the line. Players themselves obviously have to take responsibility. They're professional footballers. They've been playing the game for X number of years. Surely they can adapt on the field to what's in front of them. And when Everton went down to 10 men, we just seemed to lose our way. Yes, with loads of the ball, but we didn't really do anything with it. It was a lot more structured at the weekend. And I think one of the things that helped that was Mason Mount. And I'm glad to say that I'm leaning for him to start tonight. So I am. United are starting to gain momentum. The Everton game was a bit of a blip. And despite the fact that there are still obvious weaknesses, not only in the squad, but also in the starting 11, a win at home tonight could see United go as high as fifth in the table, a far cry from some of those early season relegation worries. Amarim has urged Cunha to raise his level of game, saying the forward's overall influence matters, even if the goals have been scarce since his £62.5 million move. Cunha is expected to be on the bench tonight. He suffered a head injury recently, but there is the possibility to come on, particularly with Xerxes leading the line, although he scored at the weekend. First in a while for him as well. But I don't feel he's an out-and-out striker to lead the line. Amarim believes Cunha has spent too much time obsessing over his lack of goals since that summer switch from Wolves, having only scored once in 11 appearances. Just checking in on the live stream. All good. Okay. He's put his arm around also Lenny Yoro after the defender conceded the penalty at Crystal Palace. And Yoro showed visible frustration when he was subbed, and also was quite emotional with regards to the whole experience. And Aaron did seek, particularly in the post-match interview, to highlight positives from Yoro's display to rebuild his confidence. And he is young, and it's a learning curve for him. Every match is a learning curve for him at the moment. Harry Maguire still remains out with a thigh injury, and Benjamin Sesko has been sidelined with that knee issue for quite a while now. And while he looked like someone who could lead the line really well, we really haven't seen enough of him to be able to say yes or no to that. And he's the marquee man if we can get him in there and get him started. West Ham, on the other hand, Nuno Espirito Santo wants a better end product after their 2-0 loss to Liverpool. They had no shots on target. Hopefully that's the case tonight as well. And it brought an end to a 3-match unbeaten run. So they had been playing reasonably well up to that. Krishenko Somerville is out, and Lucas Paqueta is suspended due to one of the most bizarre double yellow stroke red card incidents that I've ever witnessed in the last match. When he proceeded to argue that much with the ref, he got himself a yellow. And then he continued to argue despite the efforts of his own players, and indeed some of the Liverpool players, to stop him doing it. He ended up collecting the second yellow and getting sent off. So that was a rather strange suspension, and he'd only come back as well. That match kicks off tonight at 8 o'clock and is at Old Trafford. And the probable line-out, in my mind, for United with a 3-4-2-1 formation would be made up of, obviously, Lemons and Nets. That back three of Yoro, De Ligt and Shaw. And while I'm quite happy with that, I feel Shaw needs to be doing more. He's been a bit suspect on occasions. We're at the stage where there must be an obvious replacement sought in that particular line. He's either going to stay as the cornerback and come up the field, push up further, but he doesn't seem to be doing that, and that then leaves Dallo having to cover back a little bit more as well. It's all a bit complicated on that side, whereas it seems to work better with Diallo on the other wing and Euro inside him. Casemiro and Fernandes continue in the central midfield road. Again, to my mind, Casemiro is one of those players who probably he's a bit like the old Bovril one. You either like it or don't like it, and I'm kind of not one of his fans, but he's doing a job for us, and he comes up with some important goals. So grand, he's in there, and we haven't got a ready-made replacement yet in that area. Fernandes, he just speaks for himself. So he does his just sheer class. Wembo and Mount, both hard-working in the two in front of that, and create a lot of problems for defences with their movement. Mount in particular at the weekend looked really good, and his interaction with other players and everything, bringing other players into the game was really, really positive. Xerxes up top, can't be faulted, got his goal at the weekend, and that's the thing that really, at the end of the day, it's all about. He's got to just keep scoring, so he has. For me, I'm going for a win tonight. I'd love to see them up to 5th place. Do log into the poll even after all of this is over. This is kind of my way of doing a recording at the moment, so it is, because it's a lot easier. And going live, sometimes we can create an audience out of that as well. But for now, thanks for taking the time if you're watching this either live or indeed later. And hopefully, here's hoping for a United win tonight and up to 5th place for the weekend, so that I get a few bragging rights when I come in after my golf on Saturday.